How do you feel religion, how important basically religion is to the average individual? Is religion necessary for mankind continued existence? Should it be abolished? Can spirituality exist without religion? We're dancing around those topics basically, right? And a lot of it is semantics, it depends on how you define it. To me, spirituality is defined as a sort of a holistic philosophy of life, as just how you are, how you want to live, your way of life. I like the way of life because it's not colored with any either religious or there's no, it's what it is. It's your approach to life. I find that a way of life that doesn't rely on dogma, so if it's a form of spirituality, if you want to call it, that's not dogmatic, I love it, that's what I dig. And yet it's open to embracing the mystery of it all. So it's not like a strictly, purely rational, 150% hardcore materialistic atheist who is like, nothing that I can touch right now exists, and it's all, you basically have, you know that you don't know a ton about the universe. You're open to the fact that there's a lot more than we understand, even a lot beyond the material or our current scientific knowledge. And you leave it at that. So you're kind of open to the mystery of it all without turning that into some religious dogma. I love it. I like it. The problem is, once you start putting a lot of people together, people usually want some kind of structure. In particular, when you have a lot of people together, there's that need for that structure. So more often than not, whatever spiritual insights often get turned into some system of faith. And when you have a system, then very quickly tend to degenerate into dogma. That's just how it works. No matter how insightful may have started, it turns into dogma in about 14.3 seconds, if not during the lifetime of the founder, definitely shortly thereafter. So, and this is not even about religion, it's about structures. Anything, wherever you build a structure, you're going to have a bureaucracy, you're going to have rules, you're going to have how things are done, how things are not done. That, by definition, is the killer of all creativity. And that's the nature of the beast, right? It's like, you're not going to find creativity in a bureaucracy. That's just how it goes. You're not going to find creativity where there's a solid, fixed structure with its core beliefs and right? Because by definition, that's not flexible enough to change with circumstances. You want something that's recognizable, that's solid, that symbol stands for these things right here. Yeah. And I feel that that's the problem with organized religion, is the organized part more than anything else. And the insistence of fixed beliefs. People are still going to do it because you reassure them, you make them feel good, you give them a sense of place about the universe. So to me, it's just a matter of making sure that the spiritual bureaucracies that they create are as least damaging to other human beings as possible, and they actually maybe encourage them to be nice to their neighbors. That's pretty much as good as I can expect. That's why I'm not for tear up every religion. It's like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. So
no, because there are great soup kitchens and Catholic charities and all these things that where they actually do walk the walk and go out there and help their fellow man. There's amazing things that happen in that regard,
So I don't care, somebody's religious, they are not. Doesn't make any difference to me. It's like, are you a nice person or are you not? How are you going to behave? That's the only thing I care about. You want to believe what you want to believe.
Yeah, and the religious person you don't want to run into is one that's going to take you down a notch because, well, you don't belong to my team, and how the hell could I ever get along with that?
In that case, fuck you, I'll punch you in the face right now. Speaking of the religion, spirituality, beliefs, somebody asked me if I believe in spirits. As in spirits, ghosts, the whole thing. Now, one of my things is I don't believe or disbelieve anything. Okay, there is what I have experienced, and then there's everything else. To me, beliefs are useless. They are cages. They are like blind men musing about the nature of light. It's like, what the hell is a belief? If you know it, you know it. If you don't know it, you don't know it. A belief is like, well, I don't really know it, but I would like to think that that's how. It's like, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. A belief to me is ridiculous in that sense. And again, some of you guys may use the word belief with a slightly different dictionary, in which case I may completely agree that beliefs are great in your definition. But the way I'm defining it is No, they seem like a cage to me. So as far as addressing having said that as a general, me believing or disbelieving anything for the matter, when it comes to spirits, ghosts, things like that, now there's my own experience, there's a ton to suggest that there's something. I've seen and experienced so much weird stuff that sometimes I hug my material, three-dimensional reality very tight because I feel like there's too much out there so that I don't understand. I don't know what it means. I don't know why sometimes seemingly impossible things happen when you ask for help, and other times there's just dead silence and absolutely nothing, I feel. I don't even understand it a tiny little bit, which would make it a lot easier to just say, well, then it's all fake. I don't, it's unreal then, and forget about it.
But that's the fun part of the whole thing, isn't it? That we do have these weird moments where obviously you do feel somebody was definitely looking out for me that day. Yeah. Somebody was definitely, or Civil War battlefields are ones where you definitely feel a psychic energy, and who knows what it is. Right. It's the spirits. It's just what went down there is so heavy that it's got almost a gravitational energy to it. Because I'm with you 100%. I mean, there's too much nutty shit that's happened to just be, well, hell no.
Oh, yeah. Big time. And I had one from my dad, which is funny because my dad is like so anti anything that's not can be seen and touched in a room. He just doesn't give a crap. He gets really annoyed with any talk that's too out there. So he's like the last person in the world to give you that kind of line that's more... And I remember him telling me once that he was, I forget, in his 20s or something, and he said how one day he was waiting for the bus at night. He was just walking, pacing back and forth at the bus stop, and he stopped at one spot for a while, and he literally, he said he heard a voice telling him, move from here, just go a few steps away. And so he's like, okay, I'll move a few steps. A minute later, the bus still hasn't arrived. The lamp post under which he was standing, the whole glass thing of the lamp fell down, hitting that spot straight on. And, my dad, again, he's not a guy who's he doesn't necessarily believe, he doesn't say, I believe in spirits, or he doesn't at all. He doesn't give a crap about any of that stuff. All he tells me is, that one time, that thing happened. That was interesting. And leave it at that. No, it was the voice of the spirit from the other. It's like, how the fuck do you know? Who knows what it was? And why did you hear it that time and not like the 57 other time when it would have been useful to know what was about to happen? It's like, who knows? But it did happen, and denying it would be just, you're a freaking dogmatic rationalist who just doesn't want to deal with the fact that the universe is weird.